So I wanted to give people an update on what I've been riding and what I think of the unit versus the float. The 26 unit, I think, jives better. The wing handling is better. It's more natural. You know how when you get a new wing, sometimes you'll spend a day, and by the end of the session, you finally figure out the subtle nuances of how to jibe and tack it, and how the wing behaves when you spin it, and such. And with the new unit, everything was just natural and automatic and easy, and there was no first day learning curve. So I really like that. Uh, Also, when pumping, the bigger sizes and the wingtips hit when you're pumping aggressively, I don't think they hit as much as any of the previous years. This is the best one for pumping aggressively, and should a wingtip hit, which they don't, except for maybe on a 6.5, I occasionally tap it. But it doesn't throw me off so bad that I have to start all over again. Like I can deal with the tap and keep on hammering on the boom and get onto foil. So the pumping behavior is the best unit we've had so far. The way the draft feels, and I'm talking about, the balance that you feel when you're riding, is different this year, and I really like it. In the Lula wings, the framework is so rigid that the draft stays stationary, and you don't have to move your harness lines. But when you're really at the limit, in prior years, there would be occasional moments where the draft would move forward, which is very unnatural to everyone that's a sailor or a windsurfer, because you expect in the extreme gust to feel the draft move back. What that means is, in prior years, if an extreme gust just blasted you, you'd have more pressure on the front hand, where normally in windsurfing, it always moves to the back. So the backhand would get more pressure. And I don't know how that quirk was resolved. It's just a quirk of these incredibly rigid frames, which give us so much pumping performance, yet they don't twist off like a windsurfing sail, and they don't behave in the same way. And that's always been the goal, is how to get these things to breathe and act like a sail. And I can only assume that Ken has somehow gotten this to act more like a sail, because now when you get a super powered and you're at the limits in some gust hammer, it's always going to be to the backhand. So like if you're overpowered, you can just like move this back an inch, and that's it. And I'm back to being perfect at that wind speed, whatever it is. And that's a good feeling. Having it shift to the front hand is like a strange experience, and not natural to a windsurfer. The other thing I like is the flag out is got a lot of the float DNA. The lessons learned from the float are in this. So this thing flags out really good. So for me, this is by far the best unit we've ever had, and the most worthy upgrade in the last few years. As far as what construction to get, I like the Alula and the SLS uh, because when the frames are stiffer, you can pump more aggressively and not get into the Flappy Bird where it starts spilling power. And the better the leading edge material, the less distortion you're going to get, and the canopies last longer. So I really like that. Now, in the smaller sizes, I decided to go for the floats this year. And I went for 2, 5, and 3 in the float. And I didn't do floats last year. I rode the prototypes during the summer, and the original floats went for super grunt. But that super grunt sacrificed speed and upwind. And all my playing around in waves is upwind, downwind all day. So I didn't want to do last year's floats. But this year, the floats have DNA from the unit put into the airfoil. So these behave more like a unit in their power delivery. Upwind, you just feel, if you're used to riding units, you can move to a float and you'll feel right at home. And the reason that I went floats is because when the wind is blowing so hard that I'm on a 2, 5, or a 3, that I'm also more likely to have wind gusts that are just way beyond what a wing can handle. And when you're flagged out, you honestly want the best behaved wing on that flag out handle when you're going downwind and wave riding. And the float is going to be it, just a little better flagging than that one. And so this is just dead calm when you're holding out. So it's really nice. I'm a window guy because I ride in crowded areas. But the 2, 5s and 3s, I don't mind going without the windows. For me, I would not be a windowless person in a 6 or a 5, 5 or stuff like that. It tends to be, there's just too much traffic where I ride. If I lived in a place where I had wonderful down the line conditions and not crowds, I'd be okay with no windows, and I'd probably just have all floats. The SLS has the Penta material, which gets you increased performance, stiffness, less stretch out, smaller leading edge. So it's one step below the D-Lab. It's a worthy upgrade for me. But if you don't feel you want to spend that little bit extra, you could just get the Dacron one. But if you got it, if you can justify it, I do SLSs or D-Labs, and those are my opinions. I really like this wing. It rips like a unit with a flagging of a wave wing. It's light. It's really nice.